This is the directions for your current environmental health discussion post. And so the directions for this video or this project, this discussion, are pretty simple. So for your discussion, you are going to find a current environmental health issue in the United States. So it can be anywhere in the United States having to do with the United States and some kind of environmental health issue. With that, we want it to be current, so we're going to be looking for things that were discovered or that have occurred in the last 4 years. Sometimes in environmental health, there are things that happen for years and years, and we don't find out about them till after the fact. You could use the example of smoking, leaded gas, things like that were around for a number of years. So either something was discovered in the last 4 years or occurred in the last 4 years that has to do with environmental health. And then with this, you also have to make sure that the issue is still occurring or there is yet to be an intervention put in place that resolves the health consequences from that issue. So some things it's easy for us to put a health intervention in place or an intervention in place that kind of stops everything. Sometimes that takes a lot longer. And so basically we're just getting rid of some of the things that may have already been resolved and we can look at a historical perspective of. So we're really wanting something that is still an issue for people out there today. So you can use a lot of things. Some more recent things that wouldn't fall in these guidelines would be the Flint water crisis with having lead in their water. That is still occurring. They're working on interventions for that, but it was discovered and happened more than 4 years ago. So with that, you're going to find that, kind of look around, see what they can be really local to you or they can be further out. And for your initial post, you will want to describe what the issue is. In pretty good detail. Anyone kind of looking at your discussion post should be able to tell exactly what you're talking about and why it's an issue and what's going on. And we want to know the effects that it has on humans and on the environment. So you're looking at both of those. If there are no reported effects on humans and environment, then you're going to need to do a little bit of research and see what are the things that we are concerned with. Why is this an issue? So if it was lead, for example, you'd want to look and see why is lead an issue in water pipes with Flint, Michigan, and what could those cause or what effects have they had already. And so that will be your initial discussion post. After that due date, which you can find on your syllabus, you will then have a response that you're going to do. For that response, you're going to wait for after everyone to post their initial post, or really what you're waiting for is the deadline for the initial post. After the deadline for the initial post, you can go on and you can respond to anyone's initial post that you want to besides your own. And you are going to find another student, you're going to read their post, you're going to do a little bit of research on your own, and you are going to, in that post, talk about what can be done to resolve the issues, and any steps are needed to reverse the effects that they may have. So with that Flint water crisis, an example there may be that the pipes need to be replaced, or new water lines need to be run, or a new water treatment plant needs to be put in place. Those are different ways to reverse the issue or stop the issue from occurring. And then you would also want to talk about the effects, how much you reverse the effects of lead poisoning. What are the things that need to be looked out for? Is it monitoring over time? Is it some kind of treatment itself? And so you're going to do that. And so we want to make sure that there's only one response per initial post. So if someone did do the lead pipes or the lead poisoning in the water of Michigan, only one person can respond to that and talk about what needs to be resolved and how do we resolve that and how do we go about reversing the effects. That way, every initial post should have responses to it, and you can go through and put more pieces together on how they look in different scenarios. If there are multiple people that pick the same exact current environmental health issue, that's okay, but still only one response per initial post. So if we have multiple issues, there could be multiple responses for that issue, but on different posts. And so just to make sure that, when you look at that, each initial post should only have one response with that. All posts should contain references. That includes your initial post and your response post. You should be getting references and looking at information about what these events are, how can they be dealt with in the most effective manner, how can these effects be reversed. And so you should always be looking for outside sources for that. There should be in-text citations along with references at the other, and these should be pretty in-depth discussion posts. Nothing like pages and pages, but there should be some good depth to this and connecting it back to the material at hand. If you have any questions, please email me and let me know. But these are the directions for your current environmental health discussion post. The other things we do want to look at are when you do your discussion post, you can do it as an attached document, or you can just simply, mine looks a little bit different, but when you start a new thread, you'll be able to type in there as well. The other thing is here you can click on the rubric. It is a basic rubric, but it does give you an idea of what I'm looking for and how you'll be graded and how those be assessed. If you have any questions, again, let me know, and I hope you guys enjoy this current environmental health assignment.